moment that you've been angry, like really angry. For me, my anger isn't loud. I don't do a lot of yelling, but I do a lot of silent seething. Now, it seems better on the surface, like nobody is going around describing me as that crazy angry lady. But in reality, that just means that I let bitterness and resentment pile up on the inside, all while pretending like it's all okay on the outside. So the truth is, I am a crazy angry lady. You just won't know it for a few days, months, or maybe even years. And for years, my husband and I just were not on the same page about finances. I tended to be a saver, he tended to be a spender, and we just did not agree on where we should invest and spend our money. But instead of addressing our differences, I did my best to ignore them and just hope that they would go away. And guess what? That did not work. Instead, I just started to let anger build up towards him. I would get resentful when he bought something. I would even over-spiritualize it. I would tell myself, hey, if he really cared about God, he would not want to spend so much money. And my anger on the surface, it seemed righteous, but it really was just a form of deflected worship. I was not honoring my husband or my God with my silent anger. And in fact, I was just deepening the wedge in both of the relationships that mattered the most to me. And I think that's the thing about anger or resentment or bitterness or fear. It tends to be all-consuming. It leads to nothing good, and instead it leads only to bad attitudes and broken perspectives and messy relationships. You see, I was so convinced that my way was the right way that I wasn't allowing for any grace in our relationship. I refused to give him the very thing that God has given me over and over and over again, which is grace. I was worshiping my seemingly righteous position instead of worshiping a perfect God who's fully worthy of that worship. And I always think about something that Paul says. It's in Colossians 3. He says, make allowance for each other's faults and forgive anyone who offends you. Remember, the Lord forgave you, so you must forgive others. Ouch. I think about that, how we have to make allowances for the people who let us down, who don't quite meet our expectations, who hurt us. And we don't make allowances because it's good for those people. We make allowances because it's good for us. It reminds us that those people cannot meet all of our needs. Only God can. He truly is the king of our hill. And so this week, I want to encourage all of us, myself included, to get honest with God and with others. In our Slat and Spot this week, I want us to read back through the 10 Commandments and ask, where are our relationships more messy than blessy? God will reveal it real quick. We've got to get real with a few other people in our lives around what or who has become an idol. And we've got to remind ourselves, the only one worthy, the only one righteous enough for all of our time, all of our attention, all of our focus is God himself.
Thanks so much for tuning in to Thought in 3. If you enjoyed this content, make sure you subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with everything happening at The Journey.